viewers. Welcome to NGO Corner. If you have been following my video up to this point, it's been nice engaging with you. And you know, we normally like to keep it brief, so I'm going to continue straight with our episode 2 topic on how to select board of trustees or board of directors for your NGO. If you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe. So, as I was explaining in our last topic, on the issue of board members and that they are not allowed, according to CAMA, to earn a full-time salary for 12 months. But it's okay for them to earn one-off service payment for services to the NGO. I also talked about in the previous episode that even though they're allowed to earn one-off payment for services provided to their NGO, it's not also very advisable. It has an appearance of conflict of interest. So if you're listening to me out there and you are an executive director of an NGO, or you are planning to set up your NGO, or you are heading an NGO, or you're a trustee or director, what I have discovered from my 20 years of experience, you know me too, I'm also an executive director. So I'm talking to you not on theory, I'm talking to you as a practitioner. So when I'm talking to you as a colleague, I'm talking to you as fellow colleagues, fellow NGO person. So what I have discovered is that most executive directors are founders, or most executive directors or founders of the NGO, or trustees or directors. Most of them are earning regular salaries from donated money in the NGO. This is a violation of CAMA. CAMA is Company Allied Matters Act 1990 and as amended in year 2020. Now, in the previous episode, I explained a lot about this. But in this episode, I want to answer the question that is on all of your mind. What do you do as you set up an NGO and you are a trustee and you want to earn salary? How can you do that without being vulnerable to, first of all, violating the laws of CAMA, that's the laws of the land, and then being vulnerable to being accused of violating the laws, and then you might not be considered being a credible NGO. And this is NGO Corner, and we're talking about how to set up a credible NGO. So if you want to set up an NGO and you do it anyhow, no problem. But remember, credible NGO. So in that case, you need to consider certain things. So the question that all of you are waiting to be answered is, how do you handle the issue of, you have an NGO, you register the NGO, your name is there as a trustee or a director, and you are earning salary. And if it's a violation, how do you do it? How can you survive? Where can you, if you don't, the dilemma for executive directors or who are trustees is that if you leave your NGO for somebody else, they will spoil it. So you have to be there, and then if you're there full time, how do you earn a salary? So this was being a dilemma, and this was my dilemma when I first set up an NGO, and I found out that, as an executive director, I can't, or I'm a trustee. As a trustee, I can't earn. So as an executive director, I can't be a trustee as well, and all these issues came. So how did I solve it? So since the law of Company Allied and Matters Act, CAMA, does not allow a trustee or a director to earn a long-term salary, it's important for you to be a constituted member of the board so that you have some say in the governance of the organization. However, the existing trustees can come together, and there's a possible threat of, if you own an NGO and you're not a trustee, so that you can earn salary, there is a threat of other trustees, if the organization grows and has significant resources, pushing you out. So it's safer for you to be a trustee and on the certificate, so that you can, when it comes to cases of CAC, you can attend to it. So what do you do in this case? What I advise is that, and what I did is that, we have a founders clause in our constitution filed with CAC, which states that the organization was founded by myself, and that clause is in the constitution. So with that clause now, I'm able to still have exercise some powers on the organization, because the constitution has recognized the founder. So I am not a trustee, I am the executive director. So I'm a member of the board, but I am an ex-official. So since I'm a member, I'm an executive director, member of a board as an ex-official, I can't vote, I can still earn a salary. I hope this is clear. If it's not clear, I'll repeat it. What I'm saying is that if you set up your NGO and you are on the trustee, you are a trustee, you cannot earn salary long term. If you want to earn salary, you have to remove your name as a trustee and include a founders clause in the constitution that will cover your powers to still have a say in the organization. Because if you remove your name as being a trustee or a director, and you leave the other trustees there, if you get a lot of resources, you can never tell people. Tomorrow they can go to CAC and remove your name. So the way to compromise with this is to make sure that there's a founders clause. I'm open to share for people to chat on this topic of ways this can be done, but this is what I've been able to do. So this applies to particularly those that are executive directors and trustees, and they're earning salary. But if you are a trustee, you're not earning salary, there's no issue. Or if you're executive director and you're not on the you're not on the CAC, it's fine. But if you're executive director, you're a trustee, and you're earning salary, this is an issue. So I hope this has helped. You can comment on the comment box, ask questions. I will be free to reply those questions. So finally, and this is final for this episode 2 on considerations in selecting a board of trustees or board of directors, and that is what I've come to realize now, that is 2021, is that all board members should have an up-to-date tax clearance from Federal Inland Revenue Services. This has been a requirement, it has been there in the past, but now the enforcement of this requirement is becoming stronger with FIRS and also with banks. Banks are now requesting that before you open an account, you need to bring your board members have to show certain compliance, that they are compliant. When you want to file get your tax clearance and file your annual returns through Federal Inland Revenue Services, they will ask that your board members should present their tax clearance certificate. It's because particularly board of trustees, the trustees are the ones that are incorporated into law. So it's the trustees that have to have tax clearance. So it's becoming very strict now. So in Nigeria, a lot of people don't pay tax regularly and they don't have tax clearance. I remember when we initially started, we asked our board, bring your tax clearance. So none of them have tax clearance. We couldn't even get one. I think that time, earlier on, we had like 7 board members. None of them could bring tax clearance that is up to date. One of them brought an old one, but none of them. But now, when we recruit board members, it is a requirement that if you want to be on the board of my organization as a trustee, you must, as we're recruiting you, we're asking for your updated tax clearance. So if you don't have your updated tax clearance, we won't recruit you to the board, because it's becoming an issue for us to get tax clearance. And soon, I know even banks may start asking for tax clearance. The enforcement of tax payments, the government is looking into different ways. So currently, It's when you're filing your annual return, your tax returns to Federal Inland Revenue Services. They ask for your board member's tax certificate. Initially, they will say bring one member. When they started initially, even to bring that one, we couldn't. Then they said, okay, bring 3. Then even to bring those 3, we couldn't. Then now, all your board members that are trustees or board of directors, you have to bring tax clearance now to show their tax clearance before you get your tax exempt for your organization. Are you clear on what I'm saying? If you file your tax returns with Federal Inland Revenue Services, they will also ask to see the tax clearance of your trustees. And if you don't bring your tax clearance of your trustees, then they may not be able to issue you the tax clearance certificate. They are no longer issuing tax exempt. They are now issuing tax clearance certificate. Around 2015 or 2014, they used to give tax exemption, but now they don't give us tax exemption anymore. They give you tax clearance, which suffices. I mean, when donors ask you for tax clearance, it's fine when you're bidding. But if you want a tax clearance when you're bidding, and they will ask you for your board of trustees and your directors to bring their updated, that is most recent, and if they don't have it, it's always an issue. So when we discovered once or twice, or they kept on asking us for this, when we did recruitment for our board members, now that is one of the criteria. So if you have board members, ask them to start filing for their tax clearance. But if they don't have tax clearance, fine. But when you want to recruit, if you have existing board members now and they don't have tax clearance, it's fine. When you want to recruit new ones, those ones that are coming in, ask them to make sure that they have tax clearance. Is one of the criteria for recruiting them. It's very important now. And if you want to be a credible NGO, your board members all have to be tax cleared by the tax office. That is what is so important now. And if they don't, it's one of the things they can use against you. So also, if you haven't set up your NGO and you want to set up an NGO, let that be one of the major criteria in selecting a board member or director of your NGO. Ask them, hello ma, hello sir, do you have updated tax clearance? And when they say yes, don't listen, don't take yes. Go ask them to submit it and check it. And once it's updated, then you recruit them. Then you will always have a board that has their tax clearance. When it comes to open bank account, when it comes to filing, CAC, you have all these things on ground. So this is, I'm sure as an executive director, this is an eye-opener for you. And this is NGO Corner. Is our corner for executive directors of NGOs, staff of NGOs, particularly local NGOs. And it's for us to come together to discuss issues that can strengthen our organizational capacity. And the purpose for NGO Corner on this Dr. Joe's blog is to strengthen the civic space. I'm sure some information here has, been an eye-opener and enlightenment to you. And I would like you to continue to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And then thank you for your views, and also like, and then you can also comment. And I'm looking forward to your comments so that we can discuss. And also, if you don't like too, you can dislike. It shows that you came to the page. Thank you very much. And I hope this has helped you in selecting board members, board of trustees, and the members of your board of trustees and directors for your NGO. And I know after listening to this series, you will be in a better position to choose the right board of trustees and the right board of directors for your NGO as your NGO grows to become a credible local NGO, ready to receive the resources that I said God is channeling to local NGOs to help the less privileged. Thank you.